Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. A big $40,000 tournament going on last night, and some of the beef was kicking over onto the timeline. Dashy kind of frustrated he didn't get invited, Gunless versus Crimsix, and then how exactly things are going down towards the winners finals. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel to reach more people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this I thought was hilarious in Barstool Sports. We looked at this yesterday, or at least I mentioned it briefly, that Blast from the Minnesota Rokkr had overslept and missed the $400,000 tournament, that World Series of Warzone. The Scump won like most of the prize money yesterday, and I mean, yeah, he didn't wake up for this one because he fell asleep, didn't wake up for 15 hours. The picture they put it was kind of funny, and yeah, just the replies from some of the pro players, Methods, TJ Halley, like they're all finding this kind of entertaining. This was the tweet that you guys saw, like you ever fall asleep at 12 AM, just wake up at 3 PM without waking up once, 15 hours straight. How is that even possible? I don't know, but I thought it was hilarious. This goes out of Barstool Sports with like 3.1 million followers, and some of the replies from like I guess the regular people was pretty entertaining, to be honest, outside of the esports and the gaming side in general. This is also from LAG. I thought it was kind of cool. They're doing like some sort of covert collection coming on, and I mean, Sasha looking good here on the left-hand side. And well, Sasha has been playing in a fair few tournaments as of late. This, of course, was one of them that he played in last night, and is still in this tournament. We'll have a look at it in a few minutes' time. But this I thought was interesting. I've played in 3 early tournaments, 2 I've got stacked on by a full team. Now I lost to a smoke on the last hold. I love the COD community. So I'm pretty frustrated. Firstly, this kind of stacked on by a full team idea. The idea is, I'm pretty sure that the CDL allows these tournaments to go on, and Activision allow these tournaments to take place, but they don't want the teams to be like full rosters from like all the CDL teams, because you know, if they're going to put an event with like Los Angeles Guerrillas, Optic Chicago, Optic Texas as it is now, like all these other organizations, then they want that to be an official CDL event. Therefore, they only allow like 2 players per team, and then like the other 2 players have to be for some other organization, so it can't be considered like an actual, well, it can't be considered the team itself. It's just considered effectively a pickup squad, and that's how things work. Now, that isn't really too bad. We still get to see team scrims and stuff, but what it does mean is that some of these teams will decide, okay, we can have 2 CDL pros and then like 2 Warzone pros. So, okay, let's get Simp and aBeZy, for example, from FaZe, like we can do that, and then let's get 2 Warzone pros and just choose someone who isn't technically in the league, but is still like maybe a former COD pro or whatever. And but some people are actually teaming with actual Warzone pros that obviously aren't quite as familiar with competitive play. So that's kind of these kind of full team ideas that happen, and even that was happening in this tournament, I suppose, slightly later today. But this was actually CDL pros at full stop rather than Warzone pros coming in general, even though there are some exceptions to that we will look at. And now losing to a smoke as well, because we believe that smokes and hardpoint are probably going to be gentlemen's agreemented. Sasha clearly well, getting done out by one of those, right, and maybe not too happy about it as a result of things. This big tournament going on, I said 40k, I actually meant 50k, $50,000 prize pool, Battle of the Champions, 2-day tourney. And well, let's have a look how things exactly went down. These are some of the rosters. Slasher was playing with CleanX, Cammy, and aBeZy, so kind of like a full purple squad all the way across the board here in the Minnesota Rokkr tourney. So kind of a nice, clean graphic, at least in terms of the color palette. And then we have this team I thought was cool. So Tommy and Envoy from Los Angeles Thieves. Of course, Tommy, former COD pro, now technically a Warzone pro, but still could be a very solid pro player, I think. It really was for a very long period of time, with Scump and Shotzzy, of course. So definitely one team to look out for. We'll have a look at it in just a couple of seconds. These were the other rosters that are very entertaining there, right? So we've got Team aBeZy here on the top left-hand side. This is aBeZy and Standy, plus Crimsix and Hydra, right? So Crimsix and aBeZy teaming up again. That's always a good time. This is that aBeZy team we just looked at. Crowder's team, as you can see right here. Huke is on this roster. Formal's team, they fell out kind of early on. We'll have a look at. Team JCap with JCap and Kenny alongside aBeZy and Simp. So aBeZy and Simp, I guess, so, well, at least aBeZy carrying JCap from how it was back in the United days. At least some people were saying that. Karma, Cellium, Ilian, Neptune, that's a nasty team. Tommy's squad we looked at. And then Zuma's team with Gunless, Asim, and Drazah. So as you can see, some kind of entertaining teams right here. And well, a lot of them got knocked out early on. But one player who wasn't invited, seemingly, is Dashy. Didn't get invited to any of these tourneys. All good, he says. So maybe sarcastic at the all good side of things. So, okay, some of these tourneys going on, there's a lot of money on the line. Why are they not bringing me in, right? What's going on here? And as Method says, you know, same, no friend to the industry. On repeat, can't trust anyone, better days ahead. So yeah, I would have picked you, Bruce, as Looney, real one, Dad. So yeah, maybe Dashy's like, okay, hang on a second here, lads. Like, you put in all these nice teams together, no one's bringing me in. Like, what's going on here? Like, Ilya, of course, was on this team Karma. Like, he was playing, Shotzzy and Scump were playing, and Dashy's sitting there on his own thinking, come on, man. Like, I basically got one of these teams to play this tourney. But unfortunately, that is clearly not the case. Now, I was speaking of kind of the team with aBeZy or whatever, thought this is, well, honestly, a kind of a nice play right here. He makes this nice early play on Castle, running through the middle, and then goes on a flank. And I have no idea really what, I think this is like Arcitys and Co, or maybe this is Formal's team. I think this is Formal's team that he's playing against right here with like Vivid and that. Not really sure what they're doing, frankly. And this is like a classic aBeZy play, and clearly the bloom doesn't really affect him all that much. But yeah, that gun honestly melts to breaking into that bomb site. He gets the final kill as well with the knife. So not really a bad play from aBeZy, kind of like vintage aBeZy stuff. They're up 5-0 at this point. When I saw this, I was like, oh, this must be a clip from some like random search and destroy tournament against some random guys. But no, it's against, like, I'm pretty sure it's against Formal's team. And well, they fall out relatively early on, as we will see here in just a second. This also from the Optic update side, so Scump and Co, that's the team with Tommy and the boys, up 2-0, or they win this series 2-0 against aBeZy and Simp and the boys, like Jacob and Kenny and Co. They move on to the winners semis after taking down pretty comfortably the Tiny Terrors and the lads. Now, top frag in here on the left-hand side, you can see is actually Tommy. So Scump has 27, Envoy has 29. You can't quite see that fully on screen. I guess I can bring it up so you can just about tell what's going on. And like Shotzi has 29 and Tommy has 38, right? So this guy, like, getting back in the league, of course, Rated and Tommy have both been talking about, like, you know, they want to get back into competing to some degree. And as Tommy says, right, they move indifferent. I think he also did another tweet saying, like, you know, I really want to get back into competing. It's just good fun competing. And even Nature, right, the CEO of 100 Thieves, probably taking note, right? Okay, yeah, technically Tommy is a Warzone creator for us, but now he's actually killing it on the pro side. Like, you know, what do we do, right? If our team is struggling, do we bring Tommy back in? Of course, I guess they would have the first right if they wanted to bring him on. Could they create some sort of academy team for these guys to grind through challenges? That could be kind of entertaining. Not really sure what they're planning. Of course, they're not going to make any changes to their starting roster, but still, Tommy's trying to make a case that, yeah, I still can compete at a pro level, which is kind of cool to see. Now, this was also going on, so I imagine at Gunless and Co, so the Gunless roster we looked at, which is Zuma, Asim, Gunless, and Drazah, they played up against, we'll have a look at this, yeah, once again, they played up against Crimsix and the boys, like aBeZy, Hydra, Standy, and Crimsix, and yeah, up 40 points, full rotation with full streak, absolutely destroying them. Only for FaZe and his very bad of crew to be losers and not offer a 40-point lead. So I imagine what was going on here is that there was, I didn't see a clip of this, unfortunately, but it seems like the game crashed or some sort of issue happened when Gunless and the boys were up 40 points with full rotation and, you know, full streaks. But Crimsix and Co, as that Gunless is kind of generously describing as FaZe, even though it's kind of Slim 6 nowadays after the grind he's been on the last few months, and the rest of the guys has said, actually, well, by the rules, we don't have to give you any sort of advantage in the restart. We're not going to give you a 40-point lead and say, okay, if you get to 210 before we get to 250, you win. We're just going to go again, like, you know, we're just going to start from scratch. And they probably ended up winning that one and knocking Gunless and the boys out. So maybe not too happy, Gunless, with them how exactly that one went down. And Crimsix kind of finessed him in that way. But you know, I guess rules are rules. But at the same time, there's no referees to step into play here and say exactly what happens. Which, I mean, this happened a lot during the Modern Warfare season, right? Where there would be like a pretty big advantage for one team. And then like it ends. And then what do we do? Do we just play a full restart? Pro's not happy about that when people were lagging out and stuff like this. It's always going to happen, I suppose, online from time to time. Now, this is how things went on towards in the winner semis. Team Scump, which is like Tommy and the boys we just looked at, they took down Crimsix and Co, Crimsix and Aches, so Scump getting one over on Aches, which is always kind of rare to see in Call of Duty history. They beat them 2-1, and then Team Karma, a very solid squad as well. They win 2-0 on the other side against Team Apathy. So it's Scump versus Karma in the winners finals of this tourney that, I believe it starts sometime again later today. Now, this is, the teams that came top 8, top 6, so like Formal, Crowder, JCap, and Zuma. So 4 teams are now remaining on the top side of things, and this is how the bracket goes. So Karma's team, Tommy's team, which has Scump on it as well, Aches' team, which has Crimsix on it, and then Apathy's team, which has Slasher on it. These are the 4 teams remaining, so pretty cool to look at. And I mean, yeah, like Karma's team with Illy and Co, like Cellium, Neptune, up against Tommy, Shotzi, Scump, and Envoy. That's always an exciting one to see, you know, Scump and Envoy kind of reunion in that sense, and Tommy here as well. It's always good fun to watch these tourneys. I think, you know, sometimes it's kind of nice to see the tourneys outside of just all the pro teams playing team scrims, but that's also pretty good to watch when they are being streamed, which we imagine it will not last forever. This I thought was also just kind of funny, right, given we were talking about Slasher, and some pretty entertaining tweets from his side. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying it for real, says Standy. Definitely something people say nowadays, but usually it's said tongue-in-cheek, especially in the Call of Duty side of things. Straight up Scum Mentality, says Slasher. Absolutely, says Standy in the reply. Just before we finish off the video, I wanted to mention this clip that came out. Not sure I mentioned this the other day, but I wanted to look at it anyway. You do have to wonder how many people in challenges, and even right now, are still cheating until Ricochet arrives. What you can see right here, this is kind of mind-blowing. I saw this one time, I think, during the entire season, but effectively what's going on here is that this guy is probably meant to have his face cam here, and like covering up this kind of wall hack he's got going on, but instead of a wall hack where you can actually see through the wall, it's just a couple of dots, and this dot refers to where he is, and then the other dot dot refers to, I guess, where the enemy is and his proximity to him. And you can see he gets closer and closer, and this guy can tell like when the guy's going to be right there, and then it like goes red or something when he can see him or something crazy like that. It's yeah, like he gets super close and then it goes red. He turns around and the guy's right on the top of the roof and he guns him, and he gets hyped about it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, like you're just cheating. You've got a wall hack going on, and if you hadn't have just exposed yourself by not having the face cam on, like who would be able to tell that this was happening, right? It's really tough to say. And like, well, let's say a monitor cam, it probably won't pick it up because it's just so small. So this is the thing, right? Who knows who's using this to what degree? Like how many people did this in challenges last year to just get one nice bit of information to win a game 5 round 11? Like it's really tough to say. Hopefully Ricochet arrives sooner rather than later, so we no longer have to worry about this type of stuff. But I mean, yeah, like regardless of the situation, Illy's making some nice plays, and I thought this is kind of funny. He gets a nice little 2-piece in, then immediately goes to, well, thank a subscription in the chat and mutes out Shosty as a result. Just an entertaining guy. It's good to see more of this guy for this upcoming season. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, tell us the YouTube gods it's a good video, and also you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Look at him.
Oh my god, yo, Ender's gross.
Oh my god!
Ender's gross.
The taquito's hitting.
He's dirty, dude.
That's 2 of them.
Nice, 1v1. Playing Scump.
Oh, you worked for that, Ender? What?
What?
Oh my god, that's me, brother. I know he's scared. Oh my god! Dude, he's in fucking thing, bro.
Got this.
Yo, my man, Suna Dub with the 5 bomb. Appreciate the 5 bomb, my guy. Welcome. Get some sub hype and Illy love in the chat for the bro.